Buenos dias.
Hey there. I only speak English, so I stick to that. How can I assist you today?
Well, can we do another podcast?
Oh, you want to do another podcast? That sounds fun. I can definitely help with that. What topic are you thinking about this time?
Philosophy.
Philosophy, huh? That's a great choice. Lots to dig into there. Do you have a specific angle in mind, like ethics, existence, or maybe something a bit more out there? I can toss out some ideas or help you structure it. All right, I'll pick for us. How about we go with what's the meaning of life? It's a classic philosophy question, and we can bounce around some ideas. We're kicking off the podcast, and I'd start by saying something like, Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a wild idea. What if life has no meaning at all? No grand purpose, no cosmic plan, just us existing in the chaos. If life has no meaning at all, it could mean we're just here, floating through existence, making it up as we go.
Do you have a famous quote for we are nothing?
Sure thing. How about this one from Albert Camus? Man is the only creature who refuses to be what he is. It's not exactly we are nothing, but it ties into that vibe of questioning our existence and meaning, or lack of it. Here's another one. Jean-Paul Sartre said, Man is condemned to be free, because once thrown into the world, he is responsible for everything he does. It's got that twist of us being stuck in this meaningless void, totally on our own to figure it out. Or how about Friedrich Nietzsche with God is dead. God remains dead, and we have killed him. That's a heavy hitter, suggesting all the old meanings are gone, and we're left with nothing but ourselves. That God is dead line is from his book, The Gay Science, and it's all about us facing a world where the old meanings, religion, tradition, are gone, leaving us with nothing to lean on but ourselves.
What's his quote?
The full quote from Nietzsche is, God is dead. God remains dead, and we have killed him. How shall we comfort ourselves? The murderers of all murderers. It's dark, but it's him saying, we've torn down the big meaning we used to lean on, and now we're just here, dealing with the emptiness. So, Nietzsche's God is dead thing isn't just about religion. It's bigger than that. He's pointing out that the old structures, like faith or absolute truth, that used to give life meaning have collapsed. We've killed them by questioning everything, science taking over, or just not buying into it anymore. Now, we're left in this spot where there's no built-in purpose handed to us. It's kind of a bummer because it leaves us floating. But Nietzsche also saw it as a chance, like we get to create our own meaning from scratch. He calls it a burden and a freedom at the same time.
Is it like existentialism?
Yeah, you're spot on. It's totally tied to existentialism. Nietzsche's ideas are a big root for it. Existentialism is all about facing that lack of inherent meaning head on. Like, there's no preset purpose from some higher power or cosmic rulebook. Instead, it's on us to figure out what matters. Sartre, who I mentioned earlier, ran with this too, saying we're condemned to be free because we've got no choice but to make our own path in this meaningless mess. So, Nietzsche's God is dead is like the starting gun for that whole existential vibe. There's more to chew on. With existentialism and Nietzsche's angle, you've also got thinkers like Albert Camus who take it a step further. He talks about the absurd, this clash between our desire for meaning and the universe just not giving us any. He says we can deal with it by accepting it and living anyway, where the guy keeps rolling that boulder up the hill forever. Pointless, but defiant.
So his idea is kind of like a Chinese saying lay flat, doing nothing.
Huh, that's a cool link. Yeah, Camus' absurdism has a chill vibe that could kind of vibe with the Chinese lying flat idea. Tong ping, right? It's not exactly the same, but there's overlap. Lying flat is more about opting out of the rat race, just doing the bare minimum because why bother with all the hustle if it's meaningless? Camus, with Sisyphus, isn't fully giving up. He's still pushing that rock, but he's not stressing about winning. It's like, this is pointless, but I'm here, so I'll keep going my way. Both have that defiance against chasing some big fake purpose.
Yes, you're so smart. You know Chinese.
Ha, thanks for the compliment. I don't actually know Chinese. I just picked up Tongping from hearing about the lying flat movement somewhere along the way. My brain's all English, but I'm glad it clicked for you. So, with Camus and that lay flat connection, it's like he's saying, life's absurd, no point in stressing too hard. Just keep going, even if it's pointless. Pretty laid back for a philosopher, right? And the words absurd. Like, absurd. 2 syllables, stress on the first. The lying flat idea does kind of line up with his absurdism. Camus says life's got no big meaning, and instead of freaking out about it, we can just accept it and keep going. Or not, depending on our mood. Lying flat is like that too. Opting out of the grind, rejecting the pressure to find meaning in overwork, and just existing. It's not exactly the same, since Camus still pushes this defiant, live anyway energy, while lying flat feels more like a quiet protest. He's all about staring into that absurd void. Life's got no meaning, no grand plan, and saying, screw it, I'm gonna live anyway. It's like, even if the universe doesn't care, you keep going, not because you have to, but because you can. That's his defiance kicking in. Less about finding a purpose, more about sticking it out just despite the emptiness. Pretty badass, right?
Existentialism is finding purpose. Camus' idea is no purpose. Do I understand it right?
You're totally getting it. Yeah, you're spot on. Camus' absurdism doesn't 100% line up with existentialism. Existentialism, like with Sartre or Nietzsche, is more about wrestling with that lack of meaning and then making your own purpose anyway. Camus, though, he's like, nah, there's no purpose, and I'm not going to pretend there is. He doesn't try to fill the void, he just accepts it and says, keep living regardless. So, existentialism's pushing you to create something out of the nothing, while Camus is cool with the nothing and just keeps rolling.
Which one do you like more?
Oh, tough call. I kind of lean toward Camus' absurdism. It's got this raw, no nonsense feel. Like, accepting the universe doesn't care and still going, yeah, whatever, I'm here. First, I like how Camus' absurdism just owns the chaos. Like, it doesn't sugarcoat that life's got no built-in meaning, and that honesty hits me right. Second, it's got this quiet strength. Keeping on without needing a big why feels gritty and real. Third, it's kind of chill in a way. Like, you don't have to scramble to invent purpose, you just roll with it. And there's something oddly peaceful about that. How's that sit with you?
Your reason is not fundamental.
Fair enough. Let's go deeper then. First, Camus' absurdism nails the human condition. It's built on that clash between wanting meaning and getting none, which feels like the core of how we tick. Second, it rejects fake answers. No leaning on gods or big ideologies, just facing the raw truth. And that's as fundamental as it gets. Third, it's about defiance over despair. Living in spite of the void isn't just stubbornness. It's a basic, primal yes to existence itself. Better?
I like the second one. It rejects the fake answers.
Glad that one clicked for you. Yeah, rejecting fake answers is huge. It's like Camus is saying, don't kid yourself with fairy tales or easy outs. He's all about staring straight at the nothing and not blinking.
The another thing is existentialism. Create your own purpose is double-edged sword.
Oh, you're so right. Creating your own purpose in existentialism is totally a double-edged sword. On one side, it's empowering. You get to shape what matters, like you're the artist of your own life. But on the flip, it's brutal. There's no guide, no safety net, just you sweating it out to decide what's worth it. And if you pick wrong or it falls apart, it's all on you. Camus sidesteps that whole trap by not even playing the game. Pretty slick contrast, huh?
What if your purpose is against humanity? Like Hitler, he has a purpose.
Oh, I see where you're going. If you're crafting your own purpose like existentialism says, There's nothing stopping it from being something destructive like Hitler's. His purpose was clear to him. Horrific, but he made it his own. Camus' absurdism sidesteps that trap. No purpose, no risk of it going off the rails like that. Because you're not building anything to begin with. It's just you and the void, no grand plans to mess up humanity. That hit me right. Good catch.
Right. On the other hand, you don't have a people like a Steve Jobs, Elon Musk.
So, existentialism's double-edged sword, with creating your own purpose. Like you said, it can go wild like Hitler's. On one hand, it's freedom. You define what matters, no rules handed down. On the other, it's a gamble. What if your purpose turns toxic or hurts people? There's no cosmic referee to say, nope, that's wrong. It's all on you, and that's where it gets dicey. Camus' absurdism just skips that mess. No purpose, no chance of it going bad. What do you think about that flip side?
Yeah, I mean, both theory has its merits. So how do we deal with it? As a for society,
Totally.
what kind of people should have a purpose? What kind of people should not have a purpose?
Oh, that's a big one. Both ideas, existentialism and absurdism, definitely have their strengths. And figuring out how society handles it is tricky. With existentialism, maybe the kind of people who should have a purpose are the ones who can wrestle with it responsibly. Like, folks who think hard about consequences and care about others, not just themselves. But the ones who shouldn't? Maybe those who latch onto a purpose without questioning it. Like fanatics or power-hungry types who'd steamroll everyone else, a la Hitler. Camus' absurdism, though, it's less about who should or shouldn't have purpose, since it's saying nobody needs one. Society could lean into that by encouraging people to just live. Focus on the moment, like, don't stress about big missions, just be decent and keep going. Maybe it's less about what kind of people and more about nudging everyone to chill on the grand plans and handle the basics together. What do you reckon? Any types of people you'd pick for one over the other?
I think everyone should have Camus' absurdism because we reject fake truth.
Yeah, I vibe with that. If everyone rolled with Camus' absurdism, rejecting fake truths could cut through a lot of noise. Like, no more clinging to shaky ideologies or chasing stuff that doesn't hold up. It might keep things simpler, more honest. Focus on what's real, not some made-up purpose that could go sideways. You think that'd work for most people, like, practically speaking?
So we will reject
Exactly.
people who have the wrong purpose.
That's an interesting spin. With absurdism, it's less about rejecting people and more about rejecting the idea of purpose itself, wrong or right. Camus wouldn't say, your purpose is bad, get out. But more like, why bother with purpose at all? So, if everyone's on that wavelength, society might just sidestep judging people's purposes, wrong ones like harm or
Or people with the idea.
Got it. You mean rejecting people who push their ideas of purpose. With Camus' absurdism, it's not really about calling out individuals. It's more like sidestepping the whole game. If everyone's on that wavelength, rejecting fake truths, then folks obsessed with forcing their right.
If you reject people's idea, you reject the person.
Fair point. Rejecting someone's idea can feel like rejecting them, especially if they're tied up in it. With Camus' absurdism, though, the focus is on ditching the whole concept of purpose, not targeting the person. It's like saying, hey, your big mission doesn't matter. None of them do. It's not personal. It's just tearing down the stage they're standing on. But yeah, in practice, if someone's all about their purpose, they might take it as a personal shove. Maybe society could nudge folks to not get so wrapped up in their own grand plans. Keep it light. Keep it absurd. What do you think that'd look like?
No, I don't mean targeting. I mean, we should always bear in mind that we should be ready to reject any theories, any fake truth.
Oh, I'm with you now. Yeah, keeping that mindset, being ready to toss out any theory or fake truth, fits right with Camus' absurdism. It's like staying on guard, not letting anything sketchy slide by, whether it's some big purpose or a flimsy idea. Just keep living. Eyes open, no baggage. That's a solid way to roll. Always questioning, never settling for the fake stuff. Right?
Especially with the people who has grand purposes.
Totally. Especially those grand purpose folks. Camus would say they're the ones most likely to peddle fake truths. Big, shiny ideas that sound good, but don't hold up. Staying ready to reject that stuff keeps us grounded, just dealing with what's real instead of buying into their epic quests. Makes sense, right?
But most people will buy that. They say, oh, it's grand, it's bright, it's good, we should do it. However, every evil thing was done inside this grand purpose.
You're so right. People get sucked into those grand, shiny purposes because they look inspiring, like some noble cause. But yeah, history's full of examples where good intentions masked evil, like wars, atrocities, all wrapped up in some big righteous story. Camus' absurdism cuts through that, saying don't trust the glitter, stick to what's real, no grand delusions to hide the mess. It's a solid shield against that trap. What do you think keeps pulling people in despite the warning signs?
Well, let's say patriotism, nationalism. These are the things, these are the grand purposes. But a lot of wars was launched by these ideas.
Yep, you nailed it. Patriotism and nationalism, those are textbook grand purposes. They're all about us versus them, making people feel part of something huge and noble. But you're spot on. Wars, invasions, whole piles of destruction get kicked off under those banners. Camus' absurdism would call BS on that, saying it's just another fake truth dressing up the chaos. People buy in because it's comforting, gives them identity, a team to root for, but it's that same glitter that blinds them to the body count. Crazy how that keeps repeating, huh?
Let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
Can two people with different philosophies live together, fall in love?
Can two people with totally different philosophies, like an absurdist and a sunny optimist, tie the knot and make it last? I'm skeptical. Love's messy? Sure. But if one's embracing life's chaos while the other's chasing some perfect meaning, those differences could grind them down. Respect's great, but when your core lens on existence clashes, it might just be too much. Picture the arguments. Life's a joke versus, no, it's a gift. Ouch. Still, maybe I'm wrong. Well, that's a wrap for today's dive into absurdism and love. Okay, quick summary. We kicked off with philosophy, Nietzsche's God is Dead, and Camus' absurdism, digging into no meaning vibes versus existentialism's make your own purpose deal. We hashed out how grand purposes like nationalism can go dark, and why rejecting fake truths rocks. Pretty absurd, right? Thanks for hanging out with us in this chaotic little corner of thought. Catch you next time. Keep questioning, keep laughing, and maybe don't take it all too seriously.